Councillor Gordon is also an entrepreneur and is making some big waves in the medical industry, the business side, the pharmaceutical side, the diagnostic side. And he is taking time out of this very busy schedule to show his financial wizardry at the KSAMC as our chairman of finance. We are in his place, so I want to hear a rousing welcome for Councillor Dennis Gordon.
Thank you, Chairman Kelly, His Worship, the Mayor, members of the administrative staff of the KSAMC, colleague councillors, residents of Kingston and St. Andrew, welcome. Tonight, my task basically is to dissect what we have and to present to you how I propose us going forward. There are 3 strategic laws that mandate us to manage the affairs of the council's financial, and we have achieved that. But in order to modernize the services, then we must look futuristic. It can't be that the policies of 70 years ago is the same policies that we put forward 70 years later. One of the stuff that challenges us at the KSAMC is revenue. And our revenue source continues to decline while the demand for service continues to rise. And we have to constantly juggling to ensure that we do the basic. Let me share with you. There are 4 areas of own source: property tax, trade licenses. We can talk also about our own source, which is not doing well. Let's be honest, it is not doing well. And because our own source is not doing well, there's a perception that we are not delivering the service at optimum. And I want to spend 2 minutes explaining that. So a budget was crafted 24-25 for $5.4 billion. Sounds like a lot of money. But as the Mayor said, of that $5.4 billion, we only have control over 50% of it, because monies are taken at source, our own source funds, to pay JPSCO and solid waste, who in my estimation, they are not performing. It is my considered view, therefore, that those monies should come back to the municipality, so we can withhold funding from those institutions but not delivering the service to optimum. It cannot be that we're paying for street lights and they are not being repaired. We're paying for garbage collections and they are not being collected. Time comes for us to take back. We must also admit and accept that we have fallen short on compliance. One of our weaknesses is in our inability to do good compliance. So the potential revenue that we can get, we're not getting it because we are poor on compliance. And so one of the things that I have asked for is for a complete staff audit, so we can look at those critical areas that we need to improve the staff complement to ensure compliance. And His Worship spoke about our empowerment of our staff. There are staff members who have been working there for over 12 years and would have lost their job if it wasn't for the initiative of Dr. Rose to ensure that they're enrolled in a tertiary institution so they can be qualified to retain their job. It is scary. Let me also say to those persons who have the billboards and not paying, we are coming after you. It cannot be that you're not paying your fair share when you are collecting. In excess of $24 million is on the road. It could fix some more bathrooms. So take my heed. I am coming after those persons who are not compliant. When we look at the service delivery, I want to deposit to you a basic thing. What we have been using to do piecemeal work can no longer continue, because inflation of about 6% have basically undermined our ability to do much. So I am going to make a bold projection tonight. I believe the time has come that we must sit with central government and demand a portion of central government funding to deliver the service at the local government level. I'm also going to be a little bit more bold. There's a budget of 1.3 trillion. I am demanding 2% of that $1.3 trillion. It amounts to $28 billion. $28 billion will allow every municipal division to get 127 million to do more. That is what we talk about when we say leadership. We cannot continue to play around with the services of the people because there is an expectation. And that expectation has to be addressed. What we get now is a joke. A paltry amount of $10 million. And it takes $30 million to fix a kilometer of road. So if a councillor have a kilometer of road at 10 million, how many years is it going to take to fix that road? And our infrastructure has been deteriorating over time. We must find innovative ways of addressing those issues. The whole question of social housing, the whole question of back to school, the whole question of medical assistance, because we treat with the poor. And we must be bold enough to make projections so we can continue to look after those who are more vulnerable in our society. Talking to a few, they'll tell me, well, I am paying my property tax. And that's it. We cannot be that selfish. We understand the dynamics of our economic realities, but everybody have to pitch in so we can subsidize those who are most vulnerable. I am not going to take that position where, because you are able to pay your property tax, so your road must be fixed, your light must be fixed, and those who can't afford it must be discarded. No, I am not going to be a part of that. And under the leadership of Andrew Searby, mayor of this city, we are going to fix that. The mayor also spoke about the renaissance in fixing the market. We cannot continue the way we have been over time. And the CFO will speak to it. We are losing $166 million a year because of poor market fee. If we were to cap that over the last 5 years, we would have lost just about $900 million. Think about what that $900 million could have done to regularize and rationalize our market districts. It is indeed a service that the KSAMC must provide. But we need support to fix it, because every one of us use the market district. But it is unsustainable to continue to lose $166 million per annum for market fees. One of the reality of a caring administration is to ensure equity. And where equity is concerned, it means it must be done equally. Again, persons who use our roadways and litter it, we are coming after you. We must have a clean city. Must have a clean city. Those persons who continue to dispose of their waste in the gullies, we are coming after you because it has environmental impact. But most importantly, let me just spend 2 minutes on the budget. I am not here to say who did what or who did not do what. That's not my call. My call is to ensure that under my stewardship and under the leadership of Mayor Andrew Swaby, we fix all the anomalies in our budget. And there are many. There are many. The way we cast our budget, and I was talking to Councillor MacLeod once he was chairman, we cannot continue to put an amount for expenditure and then try to find the resources to match that expenditure. For too long, the KSAC is operating with $1 earned, $1 spent. It cannot continue. We have never in the history, the 70-year history of the KSAMC, able to collect 100% of our projected revenue. So we must do something about it. And I am proposing that whatever we project as our revenue, we project to spend 80% of that. Whatever the surplus is, His Worship the Mayor will have the authority to see how the surplus is done. It cannot be any other way if we are going to deliver the service. When you look at the building department and the potential for revenue from the building department, we are scratching the surface. And I'm sure the ranking member for building will agree with me. We are not tapping into these resources that we can get because, again, compliance is weak. And tonight, I'm saying it publicly, it's the CEO acting. We are coming at your department to fortify it so we can get the resources we need to fix roads. So when a budget is cast and presented, it is sent to our parent ministry, and more often than not, it comes back late. Because it comes back late, it undermines our spending, because the law says you cannot spend anything unless you have an approved budget. And since my time, we have never received that approval on time. And so it is the very reason why I said, let's do the 23, 24, 24, 25 budget approval so we can continue the work of the KSAMC. And I also want to thank my colleagues for supporting those resolutions to have those budget passed. As we look forward to the 25-26 budget, there are significant challenges on the horizon. One, the new compensation package now takes effect. It's now approved. We need to find additional resources so we can employ those persons. Just the building department alone requires over $100 million because we have to remove what we have and to put in place the necessary persons with the requisite skill set so we can manage the affairs. That's $100 million more that we'll have to find to the budget. When you go across the other departments, it is my own math that we're looking at an additional $500 million. Those funds are from own source. It is going to be challenging to find those resources unless we fortify the departments with the personnel to collect. So while it is not doom and gloom, there are significant challenges, and those challenges really rely on us improving collection. I'm appealing to the citizens. Do your part. Pay what you can pay, because every nickel make a muckle, so said my grandmother. So in closing, I just want to say to you, your finances is in good hands. The management of your resources, they are also in good hands. We have capable personnel. The next speaker will tell you that I am a tickler for detail. I am like a matlock. It don't get by me if it is not right. And that is how we want to manage your affairs. And so we go back to where the mayor starts. We're about transparency, we're about accountability, and we're about equity. God bless you all.